How'd you like to get into a career field that's almost guaranteed to continue growing as far into the future as just about anyone can see? A career that offers you almost unlimited opportunity for variety and advancement, with jobs that are available in nearly every community, large or small. A career that offers excellent pay and benefits, and perhaps most important, a field that can bring you a lot of personal satisfaction, with opportunities to change people's lives for the better. If these possibilities fit your dreams, then a career in the healthcare industry may be the right decision for you. Today, healthcare is one of America's fastest growing industries. According to government statistics, fully 1 out of every 5 new jobs created between now and 2014 will be in the healthcare field. That adds up to nearly 5 million new jobs, and these jobs will be in a variety of settings. In hospitals, in nursing homes and hospices, in rehabilitation facilities, on emergency response teams, in medical and dental offices, and ever more frequently, in people's homes. Virtually all the careers you'll be learning about in this series will challenge you to achieve a high level of professionalism, and most require some formal education and certification in the skills necessary for the work you'll be performing. But in most cases, you won't have to spend 4 or more years to get the training you need. All right, let's get started. By several measures, one of the fastest growing occupations in the healthcare industry is that of a home health aide, also referred to as a certified nursing assistant, or CNA.
The home health aide has a certificate as a certified nursing assistant, and then they choose to specialize in working in home care. So then instead of CNA, we call them a home health aide.
According to U.S. Department of Labor projections, job openings for home health aides are expected to increase by more than 27% through the year 2014. This increasing demand is due primarily to the aging population of baby boomers and a growing trend for people to stay in their homes rather than go to nursing homes.
People are getting older and want to age in place versus going to a nursing home. They want to be taken care of at home. So it is a growing industry, that's for sure.
But what exactly does a home health aide do, and what does it take to become one? In this program, you'll find the answers to these and other questions as we explore the career of the home health aide. The main role of the home health aide is to help people to live as independently as possible in their own homes, or return to independence after recovering from an illness or injury.
I look at my job as maintaining and enhancing the patient's independence in their home. With that little bit of extra help, they can remain comfortable and safe in their home and not have to go to a nursing home. I can improve their hygiene and nutrition and bring a little bit of the outside world in too, and provide companionship and stimulation.
Home health aides assist patients with the tasks of daily living, which can include dressing, grooming, bathing, toileting, food preparation, housekeeping, laundry, and shopping.
It is a responsible job, and they have to be able and willing to do that kind of work of going into a patient's home who at first the patient is a stranger to them and they to the patient. And so a certain amount of socialization has to be taking place so that they get comfortable in the patient's home and the patient becomes comfortable with them. And there's always someone just a phone call away if they need some guidance.
Clients can range in age from children to the elderly and come from all walks of life.
There's people who are young that get hip replacements, that go through things like cancer, and a lot of these families can't provide that kind of care, or a lot of times these people don't want their family to have to do that. If they're spending their last days, they want their family to be able to enjoy them, not more or less take care of them.
We give bath to our clients. We wrap legs, we clean, or if they need a meal, we fix their meals or change beds. And we change their linen and whatever they need. Some people need you to go to the store or whatever, it called for, we try to help them stay home.
But personal care and homemaking tasks are not the only things home health aides do. They work as part of a health care team carrying out the patient care plan.
The work that they do is really a continuum of what the nurse and the therapist have started. If the nurse is assigning certain tasks to the home health aide, such as checking a blood pressure or assisting the patient with a blood glucose monitoring device or checking a pulse, the aide would then be doing that for the licensed nurse and reporting back her or his findings.
You're definitely part of a team when you're working too, so it gives me the mix of independence and support that I like. There's always a nursing case manager you can call for specific questions working with a patient.
A lot of times people think, oh, she's just an aide or he's just an aide. Oh no, you have a big responsibility as an aide. Those nurses and doctors depend on you because in their careers, they can't give them the one-on-one that you can because of time issues. And you get to actually know these patients a lot better than the nurses and doctors.
There are other aspects to the job of home health aide that you might not have thought of.
My job is very dependent on driving a car around 5 days a week, up to 100 miles a day, but often 50 or 60 is typical. You need to be a good defensive driver. You need to keep up your vehicle. You need to know your way around the city you're working in.
Well, you'll probably laugh, but one thing I always ask new applicants, can you read a map? That's important in home care. People need to know how to get around.
Time passes quickly when you enjoy what you do.
A lot of times I don't feel like I'm working because I'm in my car, I got my music on, I got my Pepsi over here, and I'm driving to someone's house. And before you know it, my day is over.
There is another type of home health care worker called a personal care attendant. Personal care attendants may do many of the same jobs as a home health aide, but their training and experience can be quite different.
A home health aide has that basic training. They've had training as a nursing assistant, they've had the hands-on experience and the specific training to go into a home. A PCA or personal care attendant may or may not have that training. Sometimes they are hired by agencies and simply told, this is the person you're going to take care of, do what they tell you, which can be okay if the needs aren't too great, but there's not that assessment piece that you need if something goes wrong.
Requirements for working either as a home health aide or a personal care attendant can vary from state to state.
Check with the state that you live in to find out what the qualifications are for you to be employed. If they include that you have the specific education, that you need to be on the state registry, you need to go through all of those hoops and then be hired by a home health agency. If you choose to be a PCA, you can go directly to an agency that hires PCAs, and if there's training involved, they will do it, and you can be hired immediately.
Whether you work as a home health aide or personal care attendant, there are certain characteristics you need to be successful at this career.
They're physical people. That's a big part of the job, is having to be physically fit to bend and stoop and push and pull, and the idea of having to sit in the office does not sound inviting to them.
If you want to work as a home health care person, you need to be able to be well organized with your time, because you are the manager of that. You need to be able to assess when things are going wrong and you need to call for help. You need to be able to handle people effectively. By that I mean not only physically, but also setting boundaries. If you go into a home and more than the person you're taking care of is there, you get involved with the family dynamics and you need to know where to draw the line. It's really a very independent job, which is really an advantage you don't get working in a factory or anywhere else like that.
You need to be a good one-on-one person. I can get lost in a social milieu in a busy office setting, but I'm pretty strong one-on-one. So that would be a leading characteristic.
I believe that the person who chooses this type of work is really someone who appreciates working directly with people, and they have that knack of caregiving.
Now you have an idea of what a home health aide does and what characteristics are typically needed for success in this career. But what does it take to become one?
In most areas in the United States, you need to be 18. You need to have a clean background study, which means that you can't be a felon. They specifically look for abuse, neglect, theft, those kind of things, because as a home health aide, you're going into a vulnerable adult's or child's home, so they want to make sure that you're safe. Training-wise, because as a home health aide you are basically on your own with that caregiving, you need to go through the basics. Nursing assistant training, where you get the hands-on how to transfer someone, how to help them with their activities of daily living. And then the home health component, which is just modifying those cares when you're the only one there to take care of them, so to help meet those special needs.
In addition to formal training as a nursing assistant, many home health care companies require that you also have some hands-on experience.
The reason we need people to have experience is because they really need to be able to think on their feet. And yes, we have people available by the phone, but we need people comfortable and confident in their duties when they're out in the field working one-to-one with the patients.
Home health care agencies are looking for people who are on time, who will represent them and their agency by dress and manner, professional manner, appearance, and who take responsibility for what they do.
Although most home health care companies prefer to hire people who already have CNA training and experience, there are exceptions.
A lot of companies, they have where they'll train you right on. And that's how I got my training. I went about from 2:30 to 9 for, I don't know, between 2 and 3 weeks is how I got mine. But there's also community colleges and things like that that you can go to.
Most CNA courses include classroom lectures as well as hands-on skills training.
Our students are here a total of 89 hours, about 30 of that in the classroom, another 30 plus in the skills lab. We have our students provide care for one another so that they get an understanding of what it feels like to be helpless. They do learn how to do vital signs, temperature, pulse, respiration, blood pressure. They learn safety and infection control issues, which are very important with any kind of caregiving that you do. We learn how to use equipment, how to use wheelchairs properly, how to use lifts so that someone can be safely transferred. So they have that baseline. They're not probably experts in anything as they leave the program, but they've got the basics to know what is good care and what isn't, and to make the right choices.
At the end of your nursing assistant training, you must take a certification test.
After they've completed the course, they take a written test, and then they get a certificate, and they're trained, and they have their certificate, and they're ready to go.
So what do home health aides like best about their jobs? Let's find out.
I would say it's coming into people's lives in a time of need and quickly forming a trusting working relationship. It's a very, powerful thing.
I have enjoyed it. It's just a joy for me to get up in the morning knowing I can go and help somebody.
I think the most rewarding piece about doing any kind of hands-on care is that you make a difference in a person's day.
It's inspiration, when you meet someone that's 101 who's still living at home alone and doing things for themselves. If that's not inspiration and love for people, then I don't know what is.
Well, I definitely do enjoy the autonomy of my job. I have a schedule, and again, of maybe 4 to 6 patients a day. Working with the patient's timing needs, I can basically set up my day the way I want it.
As you've seen, there are many good reasons to become a home health aide. But of course, one big question is, what kind of pay can you expect? And what are the possibilities for advancement? According to U.S. Department of Labor statistics, in 2004, the median hourly earnings of home health aides and personal care attendants were $8.12 per hour.
Well, it really depends on the part of the country where they live in. But on the average, it might be, well, between $8 and $12 to start.
Most employers give slight pay increases with experience and added responsibility.
Well, it depends on the company that one's employed by, but at our agency, we reward every employee every year with an increase.
And what about the possibilities for advancement?
This opens doors to many things. You know, you may start out here, and you may get here, and you may see something with a patient that inspires you to want to be a physical therapist, inspires you to be a nurse or a wound care nurse or a hospice nurse.